Enjoy the film.
You want butter on your popcorn?
The theater will be ready in a second. I can't even move. This microphone pushes up against me.
You do have that clenched pretty hard between your legs.
Well, it likes it.
The microphone,
likes it.
No, my legs.
You refer to your legs, plural, as it?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's an interesting way to go about that.
Yeah, I kind of want to dive deeper into that.
I don't think that's necessary.
Let's say that there is... okay, I have 5 fingers, right?
No.
Sure. I mean, on one hand.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have also 5 on the other hand.
Okay.
Now, do you call all of your fingers it? Like it? That fingers?
Them's
fingers.
Them's. Okay, you take a plural and then further pluralize it.
We're just an interesting bunch, ain't we?
I'm
now you
normal.
see, we're always very quick to point out what's weird about us. What the hell's weird about you, Kyle?
Nothing.
Huh?
I'm
Don't
normal.
like talking about your sister.
Wait, what about talking about this sister? What?
Well, you certainly don't seem to like talking about her.
Not when it comes to you being interested in her.
I don't know what the big deal is. I am expressing a healthy interest in a human being.
Yeah, but you just mentioned how we talk about all the ways you two are weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't see why I would have an issue with you being interested in my sister.
No.
Given how weird you are.
No. How weird I am.
Yeah, you're the one who was like judging Sarah today in the lunchroom for her fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
I just think they're not in style anymore. Like,
well, what's the point of style when it comes to comfort?
Are they really that much more comfortable than normal gloves?
Well, I mean, if you're playing a piano.
But she wasn't. She was at work.
Well, yeah.
It's not a part of the uniform.
Well, maybe her fingers just weren't cold. Maybe her palms were. Maybe she just had cold palms.
Or sweaty palms.
Or sweat. Maybe they were absorbing the sweat. Sweat absorbent.
You guys seem to really want to defend these fingerless gloves.
Yes, you're fucking weird.
Man, you're a weird guy. Why you gotta be so weird about fingerless gloves all the time?
This is the first time I've ever... They didn't do anything to me. I just think it's an outdated look. I don't really see the point in them. And I made a comment that I probably shouldn't have made. And I regret it, and I apologize. And if Sarah listens to this podcast...
drinking water and stuff all the time. Like,
what you need
like he's never heard of soda.
I've heard of... I'm trying to remain healthy.
And you're doing a great job.
Yeah, you look real healthy, weirdo.
Man.
I'm gonna.
I actually do mean that, though. You do look really good.
Your skin looks vibrant.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you moisturize?
It's very clear too.
I do. I mean, as much as any other person would, you know.
Yeah. Nobody moisturizes anymore, Kyle. All right.
Oh, that's gone out of date. That left with fingerless gloves.
Yeah, man. Now it's the style to have big skin flakes.
Mark never told me about that. Is that new?
Mark is like the leading person in skin flake.
Man, I'll have to dry my face out when I get home.
Yeah, man. It's really good for your skin. Like a good face dry. It's nice. Like going to the spa, get a nice face dry.
Yeah. Okay, so you walk into a spa, the one spa in Timberdale, I assume, unless you go out of town.
It doubles as a dry cleaning place.
Right.
Yeah, spa-tacular at the edge of town.
The dry-tacular.
That's what you order when you walk in.
Gotcha.
They say you've got Cindy. You remember Cindy Jenkins?
Uh-huh.
She's there. She's working there now at the front desk, and she says,
"Welcome to Spot-tacular. Would you like a dry-tacular?"
Wow, that is uncanny. That is an incredibly accurate.
I know, right?
Impression.
Well, she and I were kind of a thing for a little bit.
How long?
I don't know, like about maybe 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just a bit. Have you ever got...
So what's the difference between a thing and a relationship for you?
Could you elaborate?
You usually describe those 30-minute interactions as relationships, but with her it was just a thing.
Well, I mean, didn't last that long.
You really broke her down quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really put it that way. She
cried and you didn't know what to do.
Well, she certainly got fed up pretty quickly.
You drove her to tears. Was this at the spa dry cleaners?
Well, yeah, I had intended on going in there and seeing if she wanted to. I went in there and I was like,
you
I would
wanted
like
a
a dry-tacular. And she said,
"Welcome to Spot-tacular. Would you like a dry-tacular?"
I was like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with your voice? Trying to give her a compliment, you know?
That's
expressing genuine concern for another human. So she says, "Thanks, Greg," and I said, "I would like a dry-tacular, please." And she like took some offense with my body language or something.
what was her body language like?
Well, I mean, I leaned in pretty close.
How close? Lean in as close to me as you did to her.
Okay, I did one of these.
Okay.
That's much too
And I
close.
just whispered in her ear, "I'd like a dry-tacular, please."
Why on earth would you do it like that? Yeah.
Well, I really wanted her
Did
to
you grip
understand.
her shirt, the front of her shirt like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say
Oh my
30
God.
minutes, you mean more like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I
'cause
think you overestimated
Did she not
that.
cry after
Oh,
that?
yeah, she did.
Did you get your dry-tacular?
Yeah, did you...
Well, yeah. I got it from Kimber.
Okay.
Did you have a thing with her?
With Kimber?
Yeah.
No. God, no.
Okay, so she left the interaction with you.
Yeah, she was
not
trying to
crying.
get with me, though.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, Greg, how's it going?" I'm like, "Whoa, okay. I just got out of a thing."
I think you have an issue like reading social cues and understanding.
I think I'm pretty good at it. I did get the dry-tacular, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did you mark your bedpost after that?
Twice.
Even for Kimber? Mm-hmm. Just because she hit on you.
Yeah, man.
In your mind.
Yep. Yes. What?
Nothing.
All right.
How about, should we, let's go ahead
Should we
and...
get into the movie?
Yeah, let's get into the movie.
All
Welcome
right.
to the break room at the Cineplex. My name is Kyle.
My name is Greg.
My name is Henry Harrison.
What was the movie?
It was called Baby Gladiator.
Baby Gladiator. Yeah. So this whole movie opens on a little village, a little Roman village, and these soldiers come in and they're busting down doors and they're looking for like not applicants because that's more.
Yeah, that implies that you have a choice in the matter. Yeah.
That they busting down the doors and they're like we need people. And so they're grabbing babies and they're taking them off to the city to be trained in the Colosseum.
At this point in the story, we're introduced to, I mean, I don't want to say like the paternal figure, but he is like kind of the force that drives, this story of kind of redemption and kind of like loss. In a way.
Yeah.
His name is Chubbs, and he's kind of like the baby-wrangler of the town, that
Right.
the main city that they're brought to. It's basically him,
Yeah.
and about 4 babies.
Yeah. And
That-
he's-
I mean, it's
he's-
4. You say about 4, but it's clearly 4. You can...
there was like that beginning
a
scene,
one, yeah.
with like the part of a baby.
where it was.
Yeah, but I would consider that not one of the babies.
He didn't
that
do a
he's-
good job of wrangling that baby.
No.
So about 4 babies.
So Chubbs keeps them all in this like little pen, there's a gate, sort of like livestock, which is not. I mean,
It was a different time.
Right.
exactly. You kind of have to accept that no one really cared. But he also set up this sort of obstacle course that he kind of runs them through every
Like a little
morning.
training.
Yeah, these tunnels and things that they have to climb over.
Small sections of fencing. Like,
Right,
very, like-
and then at the end they have to wrestle a goat.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean it's kind of interesting because like each baby is paired with a goat, and it's like, this is your goat. Like there may be,
Yeah. You name it, you raise it, you feed it,
right,
and then
you wrestle it.
yeah, then you try
So
to wrestle
basically, they've proven that okay, like like feeding your goat, like make it bigger, and like make it smaller. Like they kind of learn like to structure their own bodies in the same way.
Yeah.
And so eventually they start eating all the goat's food, and it makes it easier to wrestle the goat, and because they're
The
larger.
babies
and
are
then
getting
they're also-
stronger, the
yeah.
goats are getting weaker.
And so they kind of
it. So it really quickly becomes apparent that one of the babies is getting stronger than the other one because it figures out, oh, if I eat everybody's food, I'm going to be the strongest.
right, Ajax.
Ajax is going around and he's eating everybody's food, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm the big baby round here."
Right. They also learn to talk at a very early age.
Very early age. It was a different time.
Just the necessities of survival were
Yeah,
just
exactly.
that much
They
greater
needed to
during
learn
this period of
faster.
time.
So Chubbs knows to look. I mean, he's He's trained a lot of baby gladiators over the years.
No, he is the number one baby gladiator trainer.
The foremost baby gladiator trainer.
And he kind of knows, like, all right, once the babies start eating the goat food, they're on their way. Once one of the babies figures out, oh, I can also eat all the other babies' goats' food, that's kind of the cream of the crop. That one's risen to the top. That's the best baby.
And he's like, Ajax is the best baby I have ever seen.
Yeah.
He has eaten not only the goat's food, but also the goats.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he stops paying attention to the other babies.
Right.
They all sort of fall to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the point where Chubbs is no longer in control of the situation.
Yeah. Ajax is starting to figure out he doesn't have to be under this Chubbs guy.
Right.
And he starts eating Chubbs' food.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is just the logical step. So Chubbs, is roasting a hog or whatever food that he was enjoying at the time. I mean, we see him eat all sorts of
Yeah, we see him
meals.
eat it.
And so he's got it on the spit, rotating it, turns his back for a second, turns back. It's gone. And I mean, Chubbs, let's be honest, Chubbs is not the brightest.
No.
He's not putting two and two together that he's trained this baby to eat whatever it can find.
Yeah.
And his food is going missing.
And Ajax is slowly, bulking up even more.
And he's about 1 year old at this point, I think.
Yeah.
And he's like surpassed Chubbs in language skills, and strength, and just everything. He can drink more beer than Chubbs.
Yeah, man, drinks him
does.
under the table. When he finally takes over, he challenges Chubbs to a drinking contest.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so big, I bet I can drink more than you. And Chubbs is like, what the hell are you talking about? You're a baby. I can drink more than you. And then they have a drinking contest, and sure enough, Ajax drinks him to death, pretty much.
Yeah, near
he
death.
He beats Chubbs and decides, okay, I'm a big fish in a little pond at this point. It's time. He's gonna conquer Rome.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I've conquered the baby pen. Now Rome.
Right.
Today the baby pen. Tomorrow Rome.
So he goes and he challenges Julius Caesar to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Yes. Which weirdly, Julius Caesar agrees 100%.
Well, I think mainly one, he's very surprised to see a baby this huge and also talking. And secondly, I think he didn't want to appear small in front of his council. I think he wanted to appear like, okay, like you're just bursting into my chambers, like you're a huge ass baby, and you're talking. You say like, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass, Julius Caesar. And Rome's gonna be mine. I'm the boss, baby, around here. And then so. Julius Caesar, he's like, okay, he sees this as a challenge. He's like, maybe this is an opportunity, I can prove, my worth. Like, my council has been kind of talking behind my back. I feel like, kind of like the Ides of March are coming. And like, okay, it's time for me to wrestle this baby and really reclaim
and really show
my name, my throne, everything like that. So I think, Julius Caesar, he's like, I accept your challenge. And I'm going to start training for this because obviously you've kind of got your shit together as far as like,
I need to get my shit together because before that, Julius Caesar, he never really had to
do
anything physical.
He lived an easy life.
Yeah, exactly. So he starts training, and like we have this little montage of him training up, and he's eating goats.
Yeah, he actually goes to Chubbs and says, "I know you trained baby Ajax."
And Chubbs is a little bit reluctant because he was like, well, after that alcohol poisoning scare, I've kind of just been cleaning up my act and really focusing on my art.
Yeah, and he's become more educated. Like
trying to find those other three babies.
Yeah. He's
just kind of lost. But the day of the wrestling match arrives, and this is kind of where the film takes a specific kind of moment in history and sort of flips it around. It's kind of like an alternate take on history because Ajax and Julius Caesar start wrestling, and then about halfway through the fight, Julius Caesar goes to his side of his team.
Yeah,
and he's like, "I need a weapon. This baby is gonna win."
Right.
And so they go back out to wrestle. Well, baby Ajax gets a hold of that knife.
Yeah,
stabs Julius Caesar in the back
like 13 times. I don't even know how many times.
And Julius Caesar ate two baby, which is like. Yeah. I get it, you know.
Yeah, stop leaning into it so
right.
much.
And they went to great lengths for that pun. Like
Yeah,
that was a
like they
lot.
really-
Because-
So the baby now controls Rome.
Yeah, the baby has won the right of Caesar in combat.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, Julius, he's been doing absolute garbage with his rule. He's been accomplishing nothing. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take my tiny fist. I'm going to conquer, whatever's around me.
Yeah, conquer the whole world.
That's kind of like his goal.
He starts going from civilization to civilization.
Right.
Mhm. The Egyptians gone. Yeah, the Spaniards gone.
Yep.
The Brits, they actually held their weight pretty much there. The Germanics gone. Started stretching out towards Asia. Gone.
He took over the planet.
He took over the planet pretty much.
In a tiny little 2-minute montage.
Which kind of sums up the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it kind of sums up the rest of the movie where baby Ajax is being praised for his political achievements. He's brought peace to the world,
Right.
And
technology makes leaps forward.
He just goes to
and
different
bounds.
countries and wrestles their leader.
and
Right.
He
just
always wins.
And every single person underneath that's like, well, what are we gonna do? Fight the baby? We can't fight the baby,
Right. And so by the time he's a man, he's by the time he rules the world, he's not quite a man. He's about
Yeah, he's like 14.
13, 14, something
Yeah.
around there. Yeah. He's just he's at this point, he's celebrated. Songs are written about him. He's just the ultimate, peacekeeper.
Yeah,
Right.
baby gladiator. Yeah.
So what was your favorite part?
I would say that my favorite part was when so it's kind of hinted at that, I mean, the three babies that Ajax was training with go missing, and Chubbs is like, I've lost babies. When it's kind of implied that maybe Ajax ate the other babies, because there's that one evening when he's laying on his back and his belly's very full, and Chubbs runs in and is like, "Where are the other babies?" And Ajax is like, "I don't fucking know."
What do I look
Right.
like? The Wrangler?
Right.
Very pointed.
And so then Chubbs leaves in a hurry because he's
Right.
out looking, and then baby Ajax is like licking a bone,
Yeah.
and like
With a
it's-
little baby booty on it.
right. It's clearly a leg and foot bone, and I don't know how he ate all the skin and muscle
Right.
off of
And
that
at
without
this
removing
point,
the booty. But
he is the size of 4 babies.
Yeah.
yes.
He is much larger than he was in the previous
Which
scene.
they specifically mentioned, because the next morning Chubbs sees him in the
Wakes up,
light,
right.
and he's like,
You're
God,
as
you're
big as 4 babies.
Exactly, you're as big as 4 babies.
You have the muscle mass of 5 babies.
Because he already has
he already-
twice the muscle mass of a normal baby.
Chubbs is very familiar with babies, and he can tell you exactly how much of a baby is.
I mean, he's good at his job. He raises the best baby.
He's like,
the
you're
best gladiator baby."
500% of a baby.
Yeah.
And you have that much muscle mass to boot.
Yeah.
You're 500% baby.
100% baby. Oh, jeez.
My favorite part was probably when, Julius Caesar's getting like hyped up before the fight, and like his crew is like behind him, and they're like giving him the pep talk. And they're like, "Yeah, you can do it, man." It's like, "Don't fuck up," and like they're like each going around, and like he's just like getting hyped up. And
Yeah.
then-
Yeah.
And they're like,
Caesar, you're the best.
when like he like takes off his his boxing garb, and he like walks out on the ring like in just his little shorts, and his crew's just like, "Man, this guy weak. Like, yeah, we could do way better."
we
And
could
like,
do better.
do you
Yeah,
see how jacked that baby is? And like, they just
Maybe
like
we'll
keep
beat his
Clearly,
ass.
yeah.
they're like clearly on the side of the baby, and they're like hyping the
Yeah.
baby up, but like not.
Yeah, they're like
Not
taking,
to
they're like,
Caesar's
yeah,
face.
taking
right.
bets as to who's gonna win.
And
I really
are
just
all
liked
on the
that
baby.
part
Dirty on the
because
baby.
I don't know. I felt like
It was a telling scene.
It was like he's already being kind of stabbed in the back
right.
by his own guys.
And not only that, but they were talking really like vulgar and like street wise. Like they were speaking in a very like non-Roman
pretty
way.
Wasn't modern.
Isn't that how they spoke back then, though?
They did not wear hoodies, and they did not speak like that.
Huh. Fascinating.
Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the rating. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one a 5. I want to say. I think that the modern touches, like there are films that have done that. There's like Baz Luhrmann has done that with Great Gatsby. It had some very modern music in it and stuff. That felt kind of like
Bastards.
Exactly. Like Tarantino's known
yeah.
for that as well. And it's like, I feel like there are filmmakers that can do that, just kind of have a light touch of modern mixed in with something that's very clearly a period piece. But this one, there was just a lot of
I think Tim
it.
Burton really kind of missed the nail on the head with this
Yeah,
one.
but it was nice to see him do a historical piece.
What rating would you give it?
I'd probably give it like a 6. Pretty cool action sequences. Yeah. I thought it was pretty well shot. The script was horrible.
The script was all over the place.
Yeah, it was just terrible. But yeah.
I liked that A2 baby line though.
Yeah, that was pretty great. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
That was pretty good.
I don't have an opinion.
Just 8 out of 10.
You guys don't need to give me that look.
I'm sorry. I'll give you this one.
That's better. I like that.
All right. I'll try and give that more often.
All right.
We'll just leave that one up to the listener's imagination.
So we have an email thing?
Yes, if you want to, still haven't gotten any emails yet, but if you want to send us an email,
We're waiting.
cineplexpodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on Twitter @cineplexpodcast.
Oh yeah, tweet us.
Yeah, tweet at us.
Tweet at us.
Send us a twit.
Tweet.
Tell us the name of a film you'd like us to review, and maybe we'll check it out. What?
I think that was a duck.
Goodbye.
No.